Hello, I'm Junkyard Rat. Welcome to the Junkyard Rat Show, live from beautiful San Francisco, California, where somebody just OD'd in front of the building. But don't worry, we revived that person. He's still alive, and he's just kicking it with us later on. So, today's guest is we got Uncle Vic Pasquale, all the way from San Jose. How you doing, Uncle Vic? Can you hear me?
He can hear you. He's muted still.
Why you muted, fool?
Hit the screen again.
I can't. Why you muted?
Oh, I don't know. Why am I muted?
Whoa!
I
There
don't
you
know.
are.
Happy birthday! There.
I'm scared. Oh, hey, well, happy birthday to you. That's right. That's right. Oh, that's right. We share the same birthday.
Yeah, May 7th.
In parentheses, God help me. God help me.
What did you do for your birthday?
What did you do on your birthday? What did you do?
I went to a weed sesh where they sang happy birthday to me, gave me a cake that was 2,500 milligrams. I'm still eating the damn thing. Is that
Oh,
strong?
jeez.
Yeah.
Wow, that tops my my big day. I just went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ye- I saw that movie last week. It was really good, wasn't it?
I loved it. I loved it. In fact, I saw it twice.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw it a second time on Thursday. I just loved the character development in the movie. It was really good.
I saw it in 3D.
Yeah.
Did you get high for that movie?
Oh, did you now? Okay. Did you
Well, I'm always high,
did you
so
you know what? I did. Yeah. That's the question people need to ask you. Are you sober?
are you sober? Hey, I was thinking a while back that hello? Did we lose you already?
I think he's still there.
I'm listening.
He has poor
I'm
connection,
not
so
the, I'm
we might be listening to
there,
you
yeah.
more than looking at you, Victor.
Yeah, I was thinking a while back that about one of my jokes. Your mom hated one of my jokes, and I never did it again. It was a cancer joke.
Yes, I do. Oh my God. You were off the rails as your usual
I
self, but
I
that was
used to,
funny. But my mom had other ideas.
yeah, I used to put
My
on
mom had
pink
other ideas.
sunglasses, and I would say I'm wearing pink sunglasses because it's uh it's cock cancer month, and I guess I never did that joke. I never did that joke after you told me your mom hated it. I feel bad about it.
She hates me like, oh my God, I left. He
Yeah,
had a great my mom and brother left.
yeah.
You have the worst connection,
Oh,
Victor, by the way.
Are you in Silicon Valley?
oh,
Oh my
What's
gosh.
your phone company?
yeah, I'm here in where am I at? I'm in Park in a bad area apparently.
Yeah, you were actually your video and your audio was fine until we went live, and then all of a sudden your quality got bad. Maybe it's wherever you're working in that house.
I know. What?
Yeah, and I can't.
You're like freezing, but don't worry about it. I'm funny enough for both of us. Yeah. Are you still doing
Okay.
comedy or do you still perform or?
All right, we're having technical difficulties with Victor. Please stand by, and we'll see if we can get him back here live.
That's
Um,
crazy.
so, when's the last time you saw Victor, Chris? I'll keep the story. I'll keep the
I
thing
haven't
going.
seen Victor in years. Like I haven't seen him in like 4 to 5 years. Yeah, we had the same birthday. In fact, the guy I had on last week, the three of us have the same birthday on May 7th. So it's like a great day to have a birthday. I was born on a Sunday. Were you born on a
It
Sunday?
is.
What day of the week were you born on?
Victor,
I
What
I have no idea.
you
no
don't know?
idea.
You have no idea what day of the week you were born on?
I don't know.
I was born.
I
Oh,
don't know.
Do you know anything about your birth? Was it in a hospital or was it in a house?
No, I don't know.
My
I don't
niece,
know.
my niece and
Yeah.
nephew were born
Hey,
in the
let me see if
bathtub.
I can reestablish the. Let me see if I can reestablish a better connection. I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right, so that's what we get. That's live television,
Yeah, I
right?
think I think people should remember something that I was reminded of. Like, Mother's Day is a big holiday, but not everybody's into Mother's Day. Sometimes Mother's Day is really painful, especially for some moms. They might not be talking to their kids. So don't assume that everybody's having a happy Mother's Day. I've heard a lot of women tell, I forgot the gift from my mom. I forgot to buy her chocolates. Of course, she got mad at me. She's like, how you gonna do that? How you gonna do me like that? I'm like, do you like what? I forgot your gift. My birthday. I forgot your gift. It's not a. I should have lied to her and said, they ran out of chocolates at Walgreens or something. But I went back and got the chocolates this morning, so I'm already hooked up for Mother's Day. I got her Giardelli chocolates because we're in San Francisco, aren't we? We gotta appreciate our landmarks. I don't even know Giardelli Square, the chocolates, but are those chocolates even that famous? Like, shouldn't they be more famous? When I used to go back to Chile when I was a kid, we would always show up with C's candies and a bunch of cigarettes. That was in the day that my family, they were big time cigarette smokers, and it was cheaper to buy cigarettes here. It's not the same now. But yeah, like I got my mom some chocolates, but it's like Mother's Day's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure for people. Like we went out to dinner. No, we went out to lunch to the Habit. But it's always like my mom's like, "Where you want to go?" I'm like, "It's Mother's Day. You get to choose, right?" But she never takes me to good restaurants. Like for my birthday, I try to get her to take me to some Brazilian steakhouse. But it was like, nah, there was no Brazilian steakhouse. There was none of that. So it was like, what am I supposed to do on Mother's Day? And there's a difference between Mother's Day. Every day is MILF Day. You don't need a holiday for the MILFs. Every day is MILF Day. The MILFs are always going to get hooked up. The Mother's Day, that's the day to appreciate your mom. But you don't need like a special day to appreciate the MILFs in your life. It's always MILF Day. You always got to hook up the MILFs. Yeah, I saw the Guardians movie, the third one, and it was pretty good. I saw it in 3D. In fact, I was thinking about going to see it again. It's a really good movie, but it's like the Marvel movies never end. Like you got to sit in the theater 30 minutes after the movie ends, just in case they stuck in another scene in there somewhere to really like make it difficult for you. It's like, and I always feel weird leaving the theater, looking around, wondering why am I the only one? It's been 10 minutes since the movie ended. Why am I the only one that's actually gone up from the theater? All these people are just sitting there. Do they know something I don't? Like, am I supposed to like Google the movie ahead of time to find out if I'm supposed to leave? What is the ending? How many scenes do they add in this movie? Like, I mean, it's a good movie, but I'm not gonna sit there. And I think I've seen the missing scenes already because I think they showed it already. But it's complicated. It's very complicated, and the whole MCU is complicated. It's almost like I gotta buy a book just to keep track of all these things. And I refuse. I will follow the MCU on the movies, but I refuse to get Disney Plus. I refuse to follow the MCU anywhere else. So, how's everybody doing? It's a Junkyard Rat show. Actually, somebody actually did OD in front. Yeah, somebody Somebody did OD in the front over here, and it was weird because it's like, I mean, and then I saw him walking around like 10 minutes later. It's like, how do you OD and they just bring you back? How do they just bring you back and stuff? It's amazing what they can do with science these days. It's like, and it's like, now, I mean, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to send you to rehab once you OD? I need to carry the Narcan. I don't carry the Narcan. I live in the senior community. I don't think there's too many seniors ODing out there. You know, there might be. They might be ODing on other kinds of stuff, you know, the Metamucil and stuff. Here it is, Junkyard Rat Show. Yeah, Mother's Day is not the easiest day for everybody. It's like, it's so weird. And in fact, my dad didn't even know it was Father's Day. I'd call him up on Father's Day. He didn't even know. He's like, oh, Father's Day? I'm from Latin America. Those days aren't big, you know? But you don't need to know about Mother's Day and Father's Day. There's also Grandmother's Day. There's Uncle. What happened to Uncle Vic? We have the same birthday. I used to see Uncle Vic a lot. We used to perform all over the place. I did the Kel show on Friday. If you're ever wondering if you want to see me on stage, I'm at Kel's in North Beach every Friday. And in fact, the Vahe followed me on stage, and every time he follows me on stage, he says the same thing. He apologizes to the audience for bringing me here. The last two times he tried that joke, they kind of just they turned on him, you know. Especially this time because I was one. I think I might have done. I didn't do the best. The headliner killed it though, but I did second best. And it's like when you come out from the front and like you try and in fact I might do that joke from now on. I might be like the one that says that I might it might be my last thing I say. Hey, don't get mad at the next guy for not being funny. He actually brought me here, which is the truth, and he is funny, but it's like when you think you're gonna get a laugh off Chris, you're mistaken, and it's weird because like I always, you're always trying to come up with new jokes and new humor, and I haven't put up my set yet. I mean, I haven't put up my jokes yet, so, but I'm like Dave Chappelle. I talk about the transgender movement, and in fact, I talk about how I got a fat ass, and I got nice titties, and in fact, I took a picture of one of my boobs and put it on Facebook. And they banned me for a year. They banned me for life. They said my boob is too nice. And I'm like, I got hair in my boobs. I got hair in my boobs. Like, don't you see? Shouldn't there be a difference? Maybe it's not sexist at all. You show your boobs, right? It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You show your boobs, you show your boobs. But But yeah, I talk about how maybe God wants me to have a sex change because he gave me a fat ass. He gave me nice titties, I don't even grow that much hair on my legs and my arm. And in fact, people judge me. I've had women judge me before. They ask me, like, do I shave my legs? Why would I shave my fucking legs? That's just ridiculous. Why would I do that? Why would I shave my legs? It's like, why are you judging me? Like, why would I be, you think.
Have some of the nicest. You actually have some of the nicest summer legs. You don't need to shave your legs. You're one of those like Mediterranean kind of gals.
Yeah.
You're just fine, just the way you are.
Yeah. Am I supposed to be ashamed and not wear shorts?
No. If you got it, flaunt it. That's what my mama always told me, Chris. I'm telling you now.
Alyssa once asked me if I shaved my legs. I'm like, but the weird thing is I live in a senior community, right? These women are 80, 90, they still shave their legs. You'd think at one point they would give it up. Hey, so you were at an awards show on Saturday?
Oh my God, you would have had a blast, dude. There was so much free cannabis and products to be had. It was crazy.
You didn't bring me anything?
No, you know what? I'm gonna share after the show. I'm gonna share. That's for sure. Oh, what do you got there?
I brought you some.
Oh my gosh! So this guy brings me the best thing. So what is this one? Bill Alley, Bialy. So these are the mushrooms, and I guess that's our shout out to this guy today. At Kanda_Vision 420.
Yeah.
So thank you for the mushrooms. I will take those mushrooms.
Do you like doing mushrooms? Or?
I do. I like micro doses. They help me get through my Mondays with you, Chris.
Not just me, but I mean, you got Luke afterwards.
Right.
He's like he's fun, you know.
Oh, you guys are both fun. I enjoy creating with you. So I had to wave in my cohort to let her know that she can bring us our supplies.
So did anybody you know win any prizes? Or?
So it was a whole bunch of people from the Emerald Cup. You know what the Emerald Cup is?
Yeah, they have like a festival.
Right.
In
It's
December.
usually every March or April or something.
It's in December,
Is
isn't
it
it?
in December? Okay.
Yeah, I think I've actually never been to it. I've been to HemCon and High Times a bunch of times.
So it's like a High Times Cup, basically. So everybody is got their product out there. Everybody's sampling. It's kind of like a hemp fest or whatever, where everybody's got a booth. Everybody's sampling each other's brands. They also submit their products to the board. And I don't know how much each one of those, let's say grower, because it's not just growers. It's like I met a guy that made this dabbing rig and it looked like a little spaceship. It's called Dabsco. So a little dab rig that looks like a little Jetson spaceship. But anyway, he was for most innovative. And so there was everybody from growers to most innovative to people that have helped the industry, you name it. So it wasn't just growers and breeders and seeders. It was other people that are involved with all the way around the industry. So what was I just saying? I was saying that there was so many awards, so many different things. We must have sampled, I couldn't even tell you. I know even just the Cannabar where I got this. This is one of the products that I got. It's just a vape pen, but got 4 different cartridges that night.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's better than HemCon.
I'm telling you. And then so this show was the one that's months later where after all the judges have already judged all the products, now they get their awards. So we got to even go on a yacht. We got to go around the bay on the yacht and party and dab on the bay. I've never dabbed on a yacht in the middle of the San Francisco Bay before.
My dad got married on the bay in San Francisco.
Really?
He got married on a yacht, yeah. If I had known it would be the last time I would be in a yacht in San Francisco, I would have appreciated it more.
Well, who knows? It might not be the last time you're on a yacht.
That's true.
And it looks like you have, I want to thank you guys, listeners on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Africa TV. It looks like you have at least 1 like over there on Facebook. So thank you, people.
Oh, I got people on Facebook already. So, were you at the Hall of Flowers? There was like a weed event last week at the Hall of Flowers in Santa Rosa. It's like an industry event. The thing I don't like about the Emerald Cup is the prices to get in are expensive. They were like and you couldn't even buy 1-day tickets. They were like 2-day tickets.
I guess that's why I'm spoiled. I usually get into all these events free.
Oh yeah, I would have gone, but then I'm like, Santa Rosa's way the hell out there. And the last time, like, these events have changed lately, but yeah, I wish I was on a yacht getting high. I would still be on the yacht somewhere if I was getting high.
So tell me a little bit about the mushrooms you got.
Oh, actually, I go to a sesh called the Chirped Out, which is on 7th and Market at the Revolution Cafe every Thursday and Saturday. And I got these mushrooms now. The hillbilly ones, they're the ones that make you act crazy, you know.
Make you act like you should be making out with your second cousin and
That's right.
shooting the Hatfields or the McCoys.
Well, I got 30 cousins, so I'm still working on my first cousins. I haven't met many of my second cousins.
Look at those little caps. Look at those babies. It's the hillbilly. Wow. So that looks pretty potent.
Would you eat the whole thing at once, or?
Would I eat that whole bag at once? That whole bag's almost, I would say it's a half an eighth. So would I eat 1 3/4 grams? Not today. Not today at all. I like microdosing, and the reason I like microdosing is because, like I said, it puts me in a different mindset. I deal with depression, and if I ate one of those little caps, that would even be beyond microdosing. I would have to have like about half of one of those caps. I take these pills, which are somewhere, but they're the ones you gave me.
Oh yeah.
The one of a kind pills. So if I take one of those, perfect microdose.
Oh yeah.
And there's 36 of those pills in each eighth. So I take 1/36 of an eighth of an ounce. So I don't even know what that is, but it's literally just a little, it's like, I can't even explain it. It's so minute.
I gotta warn people: don't go see any foreign films on mushrooms. It's hard to read the subtitles. I did that. I went to see a Chinese movie last year on mushrooms, and I like freaked out. It was on IMAX too. It was crazy. I had to go back to see what it was about. It was a war movie too.
Really?
But yeah, it's hard to read things on mushrooms. People don't warn you about that, you know? They don't warn you. There's certain things you shouldn't do on mushrooms. Reading is one of them. Trying to, I don't know. I've never driven on mushrooms. Like, that could be an experience. Like, we could go to Malibu Grand Prix on mushrooms and drive around and stuff. Did anybody go real crazy when they won a prize, or anybody start crying, or?
Oh, you mean last night or the other night? So
Yeah.
no, I mean they're all awards. I mean everybody kind of. It was funny. They started off the event with like a shaman, and he came in and kind of blessed the plant and did all this crazy stuff and did the little like a chant and had other tribal leaders up there and wanted to thank us for what this plant has given us. And then they started having the awards. And yeah, there was a few people that got really excited because these people get these beautiful glass awards, which I'm going to be doing a segment on my show at some point, and you guys will see some of the highlights that I did. But yeah, they got really excited. It wasn't like they just won the lottery and they were jumping up and down screaming, but they were really excited. They were happy. Yes.
Is there a prize? Is there
Yeah,
money?
they get a glass. The trophy or the award itself is a really beautiful. It looks better than like I think it's the People's Choice Awards with the hands that are like kind of like this or something in glass. You ever seen that? It looks better than that. It's really pretty. It's that kind of glass kind of thing with I think a cannabis leaf in the middle. I would just guess. I didn't get a close up of it.
Did they know they were gonna win ahead of time, or?
No, actually, out of the entrance, like even just the people that had flower, Chris, there was like over 200 entrants of just bud, just bud,
Damn.
not edibles, not tincture or wax or shatter, just actual flower. There was over 200 entrants. We looked at a case, which I could show you, which I don't have my phone. Again, I'll share this with you maybe next week. There was these big old display cases out in the middle of the event that showed all the different entrants and what the name of their pot. They had one bud, the name of the pot, the potency, what award it was up for, and everything else. Anyway, in just one of the glass cabinets, there was at least 200 different types of bud.
But these are like real growers. They're registered.
Oh yeah, these are the guys that get their stuff tested through labs,
yeah.
and these are the guys that have all their stuff registered. This is the stuff you see in cannabis clubs. These are the people, like the big people. Like so, even like the other night, Tony was performing.
Oh yeah, Tony.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
matter
they're
of fact,
local, aren't they?
Yeah, and he actually has his brand is called Pillow.
pillow.
And so like one of his was they were featuring his pot there. So that's the kind of stuff you see. We were stalking Victor's page, and I noticed that Victor's cat looks like my cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm showing that to everybody. If we can't talk to Victor, we're gonna stalk his page.
Yeah.
And so here's this cat, man. This cat looks like my cat. That looks like Oswaldo, my cat.
Oswaldo?
Yeah, well, he's called Oswald, but I think he's more Spanish, like Oswaldo.
Is that a real cat or it looks like a carpet or something?
No, that looks just like my cat, man. I'm telling you
looks
now.
like he's a carpet. Like he's just lying there.
He's just lying there. So,
I-
so what did you do this weekend? You didn't get to go tour around the bay, and I know you had to get me mushrooms, so you went to the Sesh.
I went.
And nobody ever tells you where the Sesh is because you want to be able to go next time. Because if you start telling people, they don't let you.
Oh no, this one is in the same place. It's at the Revolution Cafe.
Oh, that's right. You just told us that.
It's
right.
on 7th and Market. It's yeah, this one doesn't there's a couple of sessions that don't move. This one doesn't
Wait,
move.
hold on. This was just right here on this corner.
Huh?
This one, Revolution's at 7th and Market. It's kitty corner.
Oh no, I'm talking about West Oakland.
Oh, in West Oakland.
Not
Now
7th,
you're really messing me
not-
up, dude.
Not the Revolution Cafe is in West Oakland on 7th
because there
Street.
used to be an open mic there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's outdoors. They have a tent set up, but it's like 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. on Saturday. It's not as busy as it used to be. They broke up, but I was down there and we bought some raffle tickets. They didn't have a raffle. It was kind of bad. It was like, they don't really like, some of these sessions, they really don't care about people kicking it, you know?
Right.
Some others, they care more. There's one called the Fire Market that they do a bunch of raffles, but I don't go there much because one of my friends got like banned from it. So
Really?
so yeah. So if I want to kick it with her, I gotta go to this other sesh. Like, how you get banned from a sesh? There's a couple of things you do again.
And that's bad. That's pretty bad when you're getting kicked out of one of those because everybody's usually pretty chill.
Yeah, they're pretty chill. Yeah. I've been going to that one for like 4 years. In fact, I showed up the day before my birthday because I knew I was going to get a birthday haul. I got a bunch of weed. I almost showed up with a Trump pinata. I thought, but then it was too big. On Mission and 24th,
You almost got onto Muni with a Trump pinata.
I went to Mission and 24th in the city. There's a place that sells a shitload of pinatas, but it was just too big. I thought I wanted to put it in my backpack.
Oh my god!
But I thought it'd be funny to show up with a Trump pinata. Like,
I think that'd be great.
yeah.
What do you put in a Trump pinata? You don't put candy in it, do you?
No, I was
Put
gonna.
buds.
I was gonna try and get
Mushrooms.
vendors to put a bunch of weed in there for me. Like, I thought maybe they would give me more free weed if I showed up with a Trump pinata because they hate Trump. So I'm like, I'll be taking a bat to Trump's head later on.
Oh, that'd be
So,
funny.
but first of all, you got to fill it up for my friends. But at the end, I didn't even bother to ask how much it was because it was too big. But
Because it was too big.
it
How
was-
big was it?
it was like half my size. It was tall. It was tall. I was like, damn.
That's
I've never had a pinata, but yeah, I was at a sesh where the guy had a pinata
right.
and he hit it so hard that he took the whole head off, and the thing didn't even like pop out. There was nothing on the floor for us to fight. But yeah, these sessions are pretty chill. But all the vendors they got there, none of them are registered. In fact, I used to volunteer at the High Times Cup, and I met the new owners, and I'm still wondering why won't they do events? They always have award shows, or they have award shows, but they don't do events anymore. And it was like, I miss these events. MCon's doing some event in LA, but it's like a business event, you know? And I'm like, when are they gonna start doing these events again? Like, you know, every year I try and go to the Emerald Cup, but I talk myself out of it because it's like in Santa Rosa, and I don't know. If I had known you were going, I would have got a ride from you or something. But yeah, these weed events are fun, but it's like there should be more of them, you know?
Right, and this one was unadvertised because it was for only the industry professionals and sponsors, and so they didn't advertise it. It's not like they were selling tickets to it. It was a free event, and that's why they were giving away a lot of free stuff.
Oh yeah, I think I know a couple people who were there, but I didn't realize there was a boat. I would have tried to talk my way on there if there was a boat.
Yeah, we noticed that the boat was there because this was at a facility in Richmond, California, and it was along the Richmond waterfront, and the facility was huge. So you guys can probably figure it out from there. But basically, it was an undisclosed location. Um, Most of it, some of it was indoors, some of it was outdoors, and then one of the sponsors had their yacht parked right next on the dock, right at the dock, and let people go on there. And they had three different bars open. They were serving food. They were had they had like it was a dab and shatter company. It was a concentrate company. So they had all these different dab places to dab on the boat. Plus they had, you ever gone to those parties where they have the big, huge, like ice sculpture, and whatever drink they're pouring goes through the ice sculpture and you fill up your drink, whatever it is, like if it's punch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing dabs through the ice sculpture. And the ice sculpture was their logo, which was Guild, is the name of their product. So they had that. Plus, they had different vendors on there that were giving out stuff. Like you walked over to the one table and the guys were passing out an eighth in a jar of pot, that kind of stuff.
I used to know Guild Extracts. I knew all these
Yeah,
people.
Guild extracts. That's what it was.
I used to know all these people before in the medical marijuana days. But a lot of these companies, I think they kind of merged or they sold out to bigger companies. Was Burner there? Or?
Yeah, there was definitely, yeah. I think Burner was there. There was a lot of people there. Like even the booths, they had different people, not only just giving out, let's say, cannabis products, but there was authors there. There was people that had been on either TV or semi-famous in this community. There were luminaries that were people that started this movement some 40 years ago there. Even the person that runs the event, Tim Blake, was there, and he was the MC for the most part. And so, yeah, all around a really exciting and fun event. I'm glad I was able to do it. And like you said, Guild Extracts, man, that was the one that put me over the top. We're sitting on this boat and we're dancing. They have a DJ and everybody's drinking. It was free liquid cannabis from Paps. And so everybody's drinking the liquid cannabis, and me and my wife dancing, and all of a sudden the boat just starts up and starts off and goes out into the bay.
Oh yeah.
And took us for an hour tour along the bay.
Richmond's a fun area. I know a lot of people that are moving out to Richmond now. It's like the new spot to move out. But how do you even judge weed products? Like they give you a lot of stuff to smoke, but aren't you already high? How can you tell if it's gonna get you high? I mean,
So yeah, so when you think about it, even when they judge wine, don't they? Here, let me move this out of my face. Even when they judge wine, they only take a little sip, they swish it around their mouth, and then they spit it out, and then they like rinse out their mouth with water and stuff. So nobody's ever really getting drunk, or shouldn't be. And then they're always cleansing their palate or cleaning their palate in between shots, right? So how does that work with pot? That's a great question. All I know is that I think they have somewhere in the neighborhood of some 50 judges. Each judge gets like a case of product sent to their home or their business, and it has like 200 products in it. You might have 200 single grams from different growers. You might have all these different edibles. You might have tinctures or topicals or whatever. I'm trying to think of all the different categories in which they judge stuff. They even did stuff on like journalism and stuff. And so it's everything to do with that industry. But anyway, so and even activists, people that are out there trying to like one thing they were bringing awareness to how many people that are still locked up for non-violent cannabis offenses. There's like almost 200,000 people locked up in this country
Yeah. In
for
California.
non-violent cannabis offenses, and they were getting like life almost. And it's like, really?
Huh? Yeah, I mean, even the ones that aren't even in jail, you can't legally, if you got busted for weed, you can't legally work in a cannabis dispensary. Like, you got to have a perfect criminal record. I had a friend that worked for Caliva in San Jose, and she had to go to the police, and they did like some background check on her. Like, it's really strict. It sounds crazy, but
By the way, is Mountain Dew paying for this segment if you're gonna like show the name right? Otherwise, show it the opposite way because they ain't paying for you.
you know, Mountain Dew is crazy. They got all these different flavors now. It's like I got this one at Target. This is like the blue flavor. Mountain Dew should be paying me. Mountain Dew's like old school. That was before Rockstar, before any of that stuff. That's how you can tell if they're a big time pothead if they constantly drink Mountain Dew. Like Mountain Dew is everything. We didn't fuck around with Coke back in the day. It was just Mountain Dew because of the caffeine intake. They should. In fact, I go to the Taco Bell, KFC because they got Mountain Dew on tap. They got three different Mountain Dews on tap.
Right.
And that's why I go there. And I didn't realize only the Taco Bell's got Mountain Dew on tap. And why only Mountain Dew? Why is it only Taco Bell? Why can't McDonald's have Mountain Dew? Why can't we get Mountain Dew in every fast food restaurant?
I like it. It's funny because they all have different flavors. Like, so what KFC, I seen the thing they have is a yellow one, and it's called Sweet Lightning,
Yeah, Sweet Lightning, yeah.
right? And then, of course, first one I remember coming out with a different one was Taco Bell, and I think they were the first one that came out with Code Red. And then they
Yeah.
started selling Code Red in the stores. And then ever since then, they've had, what is it at Taco Bell? Baja Blast. That's right, it's the Baja Blast.
The Baja,
Mountain Dew, Baja
yeah.
Blast. And so now they've got everything from crackberry or whatever you're drinking now to what the
Yeah.
hell is that one?
I think it's like raspberry or
What's
something.
it called? You got to put. Oh, here, hand it to me. You have your old man. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. The Junkyard Rat does not see 2020. He has to put on his rose-colored glasses to read what the hell.
Oh,
flavor.
Summer Breeze.
Summer breeze. It
Summer-
smells like you. It feels like you pissed into the wind.
Summer Breeze.
Summer
That's
breeze.
crazy. Yeah, Mountain Dew should be like, they should be on tap. Like I should have Mountain Dew coming out of my faucet in my house. You know, Mountain Dew should be everywhere. In fact, like Burger King has got something called Surge.
Right.
But what the hell is Surge?
Well, Surge that's the other. So a lot of these drinks these are the precursor to energy drinks. These are caffeine drinks that double and triple the amount of caffeine in your normal dose. So this was the first sign of it. You know, people like, oh, okay, not only am I going to get caffeine and sugar together, but I'm going to double my caffeine, triple my caffeine. I think, what was the one back in the day? What was the old energy drink back in the day? It wasn't called Surge.
It's called Four Loco.
Yeah, that's your energy drink.
Four Loko.
No, what was the one everybody knows? If anybody wants to chime in and tell us what it was, we'll look for your comments and see if there's anything.
There used to be that. What's the name of that cola?
Yeah,
What's the name of the cola that used to keep you? What was the name of that stuff?
it wasn't. So it was.
Oh, Jolt.
Jolt.
Jolt
Jolt
Cola.
Cola.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can find that at
So
Bevmo.
Jolt Cola. So like a cup of coffee, I believe it has like something like 90 milligrams of coffee or 90 milligrams of caffeine in a regular cup, 8-ounce cup of coffee. Soda is sometimes like double that. And then when you get like Monster or Red Bull, they're like 200 milligrams of caffeine. So you're like, your heart's beating, dude. It's like pump, 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 pump.
Yeah.
So, Well, there you go. Oh, and that's freebie. That's a freebie for you.
I used to roll. I roll a lot of joints, but I'm learning how to roll blunts. So
I don't like blunts. I
yeah,
don't like tobacco at all.
you don't like tobacco at all?
No.
I like the smell of tobacco because it, like especially in casinos, because it's easier to hide the weed smell. But it's hard to roll blunt. The first thing I never figured out, they don't come with glue, right?
Right.
So how are you supposed to seal these things up? You
Have
know?
sticky spit, and when you cut the edges off, they should be kind of jagged so they kind of meld into each other. But yeah, you have to be a really good roller. And but I'm one of those people. I've had so many people tell me, oh yeah, you need to smoke your cannabis with like tobacco. Even people that smoke spliffs, I hate them because it's like, oh yeah, but you get higher. Well, I don't need to get higher. I'm not trying to get high. I'm trying to chill, maybe, but I'm not trying to get. Anyway, the reason you getting higher is because you're inhaling tobacco to the point of where you're pretending it's pot.
Yeah.
You don't see anybody smoking a cigarette like where am I at here? I'll get me on camera.
Well, the
You
way
don't see anybody hitting their cigarette like and holding it in like that because they'd be dying. They'd smoke a pack of cigarettes a day for about a year before they died.
I get asked for cigarettes all the time, and I tell them I don't smoke cigarettes, and nobody asks me for weed. Like, I get asked for cigarettes all the time, but the way I seal the blunts, I just stick them in vaginas. I let the vagina juice.
Where's
seal
the
it.
disclaimer when I need it? Hold
I
on. Go
put it.
ahead. You were saying?
I put it in vagina. Or you know,
There we
I
go. This is where I throw this in. Go ahead, Chris. You were saying
I used to put honey in joints.
honey and
Honey,
Okay.
and somebody told me if you put honey in, like, it burns the joint very slowly. But yeah, I know people tell me all the time. Like, a friend of mine, he doesn't do tobacco, but no, he only does nicotine. He and he said nicotine is good for your brain. And I was like, where the hell are you getting that from? Like, nicotine is not good for your brain, dude. Like, you think it's some secret the government is hiding from you? The tobacco's bad for you, but the nicotine is good for you. I'm like, no, it's not, dude. It's not, you know?
It's funny now. Let's go. Here, I'll help you fill some time because we got almost an hour left in podcast.
I know what the.
So I just looked at Victor. I sent him a message. I say, hey, let us know when we can get you back on air. Your connection was lousy. No response. So we're waiting for Victor. But what we're going to do is go to Weird News and see if we can come up with anything you like here.
Yeah,
And of course, your topic of choice, we're going to spin the wheel of misfortune and see what we come up with. And this one is marijuana stories.
Oh, yeah.
So let me see. I'll read some story headlines, and you let me know which one you want to dive into. I'll read the story, and we'll talk about it. In the headlines, man who had pot vending machine pleads guilty to a gun crime. Oregon's Secretary of State resigns over controversial consulting work. Or Minnesota Republicans wild 3 joints claims gets Twitter users high off laughter. I already like that one the best. Man executed in Singapore for coordinating cannabis delivery. Where else? Gosh, not too many.
How about the first one? The guy with a vending machine.
All right, let's go to the man who had a pot vending machine.
When are the pot vending machines coming out? I've been hearing about pot vending machines for years. I wish they would open them up. You know, have you been to Emeryville lately?
I've driven through Emeryville lately. I drove through it the other day when I went to Richmond.
That Emeryville, the mall where the movie theater is.
Right there off the freeway off 80.
Oh, that mall got rebuilt, like, nice.
It looks pretty.
They got like a bunch of couches. I don't understand why all malls don't put a bunch of couches out there for people to sit on so they can kick it, you know? Like, Emeryville was smart. You go to the mall in San Francisco, there's barely any place to sit, you know? It's like crazy. They just want you shopping in stores. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Straight from the Detroit AP, a Detroit man who told investigators that he was making $2,000 a day selling marijuana from a vending machine attached to his home pleaded guilty Tuesday to a gun charge. Mr. Cornwell, who has a felony record, admitted to that he couldn't possess guns due to past convictions. He faces up to 10 years in prison. He was quoted as saying the number of weapons this defendant has possessed, despite being a prohibited person, combined with his drug dealings, makes his conduct even more egregious, U.S. Attorney Don Lawson said. Agents in 2022 discovered marijuana, ammunition, and 18 firearms in the basement. Cornwell was not charged with a drug crime. Cornwell owned and operated a marijuana vending machine attached to the residence for 4 years. It was built into his house. The side of it, I guess?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good idea, you know?
He was making approximately $2,000 a day, as per the ABC and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, said in a court filing last year. So, here's the thing. It's not the gun charge. It's the guy had a vending machine built into the side of his house for drug dealing.
Well, I know people, like, you could get a medical marijuana card from the government,
Right.
but you can't have guns. It's part of the, and I know people refuse to do it because they want to carry guns. And that's the thing about the weed industry. I know a lot of vendors who go to sessions, and that's one thing I never liked about the weed industry. Even at that low level, you got to carry guns, you know? If you have a bunch of product on you, you need to carry guns. People are gonna try and rob you, you know. I've known vendors who got followed home from sessions. One of them got followed home. They went to the gas station to buy some beer, and they basically cleaned out their trunk. They had like $5,000 worth of weed stolen, you know. And yeah, like, but it's like, I mean, that's a good idea. I want to have a vending machine I can install outside my house and make some money. My neighbors are all like 1960 radical hippie types, you know. They grew up in the 60s. They should all be high. I don't know why I have any problems with weed where I live. These people are like, they're hippie kids, you know. The Grateful Dead built a career on these people. But 18 guns is kind of excessive, you know, like.
Yeah, a little excessive. Especially when you're in an industry that you're supposed, it's pot, okay? It's not like a narcotic where it's known for violence, but I guess there's a lot of money where cannabis is. I mean, think about just even the celebrities. Okay, here's some celebrities that you may or may not have known actually had cannabis brands, which is kind of cool. We got Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, formerly heavyweight champion, has become a force in cannabis world with his Tyson 2.0 brand, which includes gummies shaped like ears, of course, right? We've seen those in the news, chewed on, to reference the 1997 Evander Holyfield ear debacle. Who else do we got? Oh, of course, Cheech from Cheech and Chong, Cheech Marin, Munchitos. Comedian Cheech Marin has long associated with marijuana humor. He's now tackling marijuana hunger with Munchitos.
I saw Tommy
It's a restaurant chain.
I saw Tommy Chung go into Spark years ago. He just walked in like 7 years ago. He had these two white security guys. They look like they belonged in the WWE. These guys were huge.
They were big.
They were big.
Out of the way.
I knew that he spent time in prison, so he might be like watching his back at all times. But yeah, a lot of these celebrity brands don't even do good in the industry. Like people aren't.
Martha Stewart.
They're not going to go out of their way just to buy expensive weed because it's like a celebrity brand. It's like people who buy expensive weed, they do it because they like the brand. They like the brand itself, or they like the whatever they're looking for. But yeah, that's the thing about weed is like it's an art form, you know. Back in the day, you used to have a bunch of plants, and you didn't know how many of them were female or male. And now you buy your seeds, they're all female. And like, there's some feminists who don't think men should be able to smoke weed at all because marijuana is like a female drug, you know?
Right.
And they're like, well, you're a male. Why can't you just stick to the male marijuana?
I've had this. I've had the Jerry Garcia brand stuff.
How is it Jerry Garcia brand?
It's really good. So I forget which one it was, but it was a green box, green and black, and it was good stuff. And it was good price. And this is his daughter Trixie. These are some of the people that have actually got brands. I had to dial in for you. Soulja Boy, Wiz Khalifa. What is it? The guy Shavo from System of the Down. Yeah. Travis Barker CBD, Willie Nelson hemp products, Ricky Williams.
Oh yeah, the football player.
There's
Yeah,
your Martha Stewart. I don't know who Bella Thorne is, but
wasn't.
from the Disney Channel.
Was she wasn't married to Johnny Depp? Was that the woman man?
No, that's
Oh,
not the
that
one.
was Amber. I get all these actors.
Here, I'm
confused.
gonna scan ahead, folks, so you don't have to see it.
I
George
get-
Harrison, the
Oh,
All Things Musk Grass collection.
how the hell is he putting out a weed product?
It's his estate. They're making money off him, and he's dead.
The Elvis Presley.
Adam
weed color.
Divine cannabis beverage, unspiked. Oh, I didn't know he did unspiked. That's funny. Now I think it's okay. So Fab Five Freddy.
Oh yeah, Fat Five Freddy from MTV.
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody's doing it. Brooke Shields CBD.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah, she's doing CBD. She makes CBD tinctures for director for Prospect Farms Company.
Does CBD even work? I mean, are you
Who's
into
Floyd Landis?
Floyd Landis? Is he won the Tour de France? Didn't
Oh,
he?
the bike guy.
Yeah,
Racing pro.
he's the guy who got busted.
Oh,
Yeah.
great! Now he's doing CBD balms.
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
I got some.
So there's big money in it, Chris. We know it,
I
right?
don't know. I used to see Burner all the time. Like he would, every Monday he would show up to the green door and hand out like a bunch of free weed and stuff. But I never thought it would be that big, you know. Now you see Cookie's clothing everywhere, you know.
Right.
You see him, but then I was reading that he's like in trouble or something. He's getting sued. He's getting sued by investors or something. But yeah, like I heard a lot of good and bad things about Burner. It's really weird. It's like I've known people who knew Burner when he was a teenager back in the day. Like he's like a legend or something. But yeah, what a
If you guys are listening in or watching on this podcast, feel free to chime in either through your socials, through Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Africa TV. You can also dial in live. You can dial in live into studio into 415-757-0676.
what's
Again,
that?
that's 415-757-0676 and talk to the Junkyard Rat.
Yeah, call me up. Call me up and talk to me. Are you into moon rocks? Do you like moon rocks or?
Moon rocks. So, wow, that stuff's crazy. If you guys don't know what moon rocks is, it's usually really high quality marijuana flower that has been saturated in some kind of wax or shattered. Then it's rolled in like keef, and it's all in one. You know, usually, one of those will put you on your booty.
Yeah, I love moon rocks. I got a bunch of moon rocks at home.
It's really easy to get. I love moon rocks if every part of that process is good. If it's good pot, if it's good wax, and if it's good keef or whatever they put on the outside.
Yeah, I know one guy was selling like $50 joints, like moon rock joints for $50.
Wow.
It's
That's hard to smoke a joint with moon rocks, though.
I know, yeah, I don't know how they do it. I just stick mine in a bong. I just like bong it and stuff. In fact, I put ice in the summertime. I put ice in my bong
But
and stuff.
don't use that too often. If you do that every day, all day long with the water pipe and ice, you can get like walking pneumonia. You can get a cold.
Can you really?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
yeah.
Another thing I
Because you're
do.
breathing in ice air, ice cold air deep
Oh,
into your lungs and holding it.
that's bad.
You think?
Another thing I like to do that.
Well, those don't do it. Don't do it all the time because I used to do that all the time and I got sick once.
Oh yeah, you used to do that too. Yeah, because I have some silicone bongs I got from the High Times cut.
Right.
I got like three of them, and I caught them, and yeah, I put my. It's easy to put ice in there, but now I'm gonna get sick on top of it. So now I'm like even more paranoid
Well,
now.
just don't do it all the time. Do it a little bit.
I just do it in days that end with Y.
So you just do it in days that end with Y. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Boy, I wonder what days of the week that is.
that's my new thing. I tell people I just do it. I get, I'm always high. Like I make weed tea now too. I have a bunch of weed. I make weed tea. I do all kinds of things because I'm not really allowed to smoke in my house.
You know what I did the other day is I threw a big old bud in with my coffee grounds in my K cup because I have one of those refillable K cup things.
Yeah.
So I put like half coffee and half pot
Hmm.
in my K cup and made myself a cup of can of brew, can of coffee.
That's what they should do. There's not many weed coffee companies out there. And the other thing is, why can't they make some weed gum? Wouldn't it be great if you had weed gum?
Because then you wouldn't have cotton mouth.
Yeah. People don't understand cottonmouth. People don't understand that. Like, yeah, I went to the Habit yesterday with my mom for Mother's Day, and my mom's like real cheap. She's cheap. She doesn't like for my birthday we went to a rib place, but she would only like buy one peach cobbler. Just one. We had to share the peach cobbler. Like, it's my birthday. Can I get my own peach cobbler? Why can't I get when we go to this rib place in Lafayette, it's called Boneheads. It's really good, but yeah, the whole weed industry is crazy. I didn't realize that you need guns to be in this industry. Like people, they don't care. They'll rob you. And it's like I've seen a lot of vendors with guns. It's like, and that's one of the reasons I never really got into the weed industry because it's like I don't really feel like carrying a gun for weed. It's just weed. Like and people don't understand my philosophy on weed. And it started out like this. I started smoking weed. I wasn't even smoking weed in high school. I started like in 91. I was in junior college. And back in those days, it was just weed. I would call my friend up. I said, "You got weed?" He said, "I got weed." So I'd give him some money. He would give me some weed. And I would like smoke it, in a pipe or a bong. And now all these choices, people are like they get into these choices and they wonder why I can just smoke a bunch of weed. It's because when I was starting out there was no choice. You just did what you had. Whatever it is there, that's what you do. And that's just now everybody's like, well, you got to do this or you got to do that and how is it made? And people are very judgmental like I told them I ended up getting my hands on a $25 pound. That's crazy that sounds. One vendor was selling pounds for $50, right? Because he got it real cheap. He got a bunch of pounds.
Right.
And he sold a pound to a friend of mine for 50. And he said you could get 2 pounds for 75. So I just threw in my 25 and I break out this pound of weed. Like I bring it with me once in a while. I bring good weed and this weed too. And they always look at it like they get judgmental over it. Like and I'm like, it's just weed. Why are you so judgmental? Like when when did this whole attitude about I can only smoke good weed. Like we can't smoke bad weed. I'm like it's just weed. Like what do you mean? Of course it's good weed. Might be a little old, but I mean for years I used to smoke. It wasn't bad weed. I was just weed. But now it's like it's so hard, you know. People judge you by the kind of weed you get. It's like and people, I don't have a lot of money to buy weed. That's why I go to these sessions and I try and win weed, you know.
Right.
I go to one called the Farm Market. They give out like 15 bags. And the point of being there is that I'm not trying to buy weed. I'm trying to win it, you know, like and people, well, you gotta buy weed. They judge you. And it's like weed is weed. I mean, and there are times where I had one friend I used to kick it with him a lot at dispensaries at the lounges years ago,
Right.
and we used to smoke weed a lot. And I didn't see him for 7 years, and I ran into him last month at a sesh, and he told me he actually quit for 7 years.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, how the hell you quit for?
Well, when I met you, you didn't smoke at all.
Oh yeah, that was.
But that because you were on meds at that point, weren't you?
Yeah, I was on meds.
And that shit wasn't working for you.
No, so now I quit the med. I quit the meds.
You're actually more normal off the meds than on the pod.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
I quit the meds. The meds weren't doing shit for me. You know, the weird thing about medication, these stuff they give you, a lot of the stuff they give you gives you the same stuff you're trying to get medicine for. Like some of these anti-anxiety medicines give you anxiety. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that that one of the troubles with going to the doctors and get medicines from them is that every time I get home, I check to see what's going to happen to you on on the medication. I can't just take medication anymore. It's like I got to check the side effects and I like freak out. And they don't tell you about side effects because they don't want you like ruining the medicine in your head for you. But yeah, you know, I don't like to be on the medication. I don't trust I don't trust the whole medical profession. Like I like doctors and all that, but it's like I feel like half of the time they're just guessing, you know. When you
So they're really good if you're in a life-threatening situation that you can't just do with a YouTube video.
Yeah.
It's like if my spleen's ruptured, I actually will go to the hospital. If I break a leg or a limb, I'm going to the hospital. If I get shot, I'm going to the hospital. I'm not gonna be like the old westerns and give me a bottle of whiskey and you know, a belt and let me bite the belt and drink the whiskey and go ahead and stitch me up and take the bullet out. And no. You take me to the nearest flipping hospital.
Well, my stepmother is Mexican, and she always has the advice like you should just take a shot of tequila. You know,
Right.
anything's wrong with you, the tequila will help you out. But the thing is, I think my dad is over medicated, and that's the things that like freak me out. That's one of the reasons I don't like doing medication because he told me he's over like he's doing over 100 pills a day or something.
It says you have 30 minutes left in podcast, and I lifted it right in front of the camera like us. See, by the way,
Oh yeah.
half hour left in podcast.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, let's see who it is before I answer a phone because you never know.
somebody's calling up.
No, look, we're being
Is it?
the call is being screened for us, so
Oh.
it might be somebody actually making a business call.
Is it a
Actually,
telemarketer?
it might be or it might be a telemarketer.
What did they say? I used to do telemarketing
But
for.
if I knew it was going to be that loud in studio, I'm going to turn that down so you guys don't have to hear that ringing anymore.
I used to do telemarketing for the San Francisco Chronicle. I wasn't really good at it, but I did it.
Remember the pitch?
Oh yeah,
What
like
was the pitch? Tell us. Sell me the newspaper.
hello.
My name is Cristiano.
My name is Chris, and I'm calling from the San Francisco Chronicle. you get the San Francisco Chronicle free Monday through Saturday for free. All you got to do is pay $2 a week for the Sunday paper. How would he like to do that? And then they would tell me like, nah, I cancel my paper. I'm like, you got to get it back. You got to get it. Who's calling?
I have Jay on the phone. Okay, is Jay someone exciting or new? I don't know, but we'll check. Oh, it's somebody for him. Okay, cool.
Is it Silent Bob or? Is that?
We're gonna put you on the air. May I ask who's calling?
Is that the guy who used to have a
Hey,
show?
Jay Graham. Hold on, bud.
Yeah, I used to be on his show.
All right, so.
He used to have a show here. Remember with John Miller?
All right, yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, I remember that. All right, joining us all the way from the interwebs, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jay Austin Graham, everybody.
Hello.
What's happening, dude?
Hey, well, I heard y'all talking about cannabis and cannabinoids, and you were asking if CBD actually works.
Yeah.
And so I moved to Texas, and we don't have legal weed here.
You don't have? Yeah, I know. You can get life for it there almost.
Are you in Austin or what city are you in?
I'm in Midland. It's 5 hours away from Austin.
That's bush country, isn't it? Or
yeah, it is. And so since I've been out here, I've been trying to keep it legal. You know, like you said, it's after being legal in California forever, I don't want to risk going to jail. You know, that's not worth it.
Right.
do you grow your own weed or?
Hell no.
No, because cultivation out there is even worse than actually having possession of it, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that true?
And
Yeah.
I used to like to vape in SF, and extracts here are a felony.
Extracts
have
are
any.
a felony.
Yeah.
Okay, so no matter how free you think our country is, folks, I mean, right there, middle of America, it's a felony to smoke a concentrate.
Yeah.
Wow.
But CBD is not really marijuana. They can't arrest you for that.
That's right, Chris. So there's all of these new cannabinoids are hemp derived. So the only one that is outlawed is Delta 9 THC, which
Right.
is, the one we all know and love.
Yeah.
And however, have you heard of Delta 8?
Yes.
Okay. So Delta 8's legal everywhere, and in edible form, it's actually very strong and works pretty darn well. However, so you all were talking about Guild extracts earlier.
Right.
And Guild was the first ones I saw ever make a 99% pure THC crystal.
Yeah, it's THCA.
Correct. And THCA is legal.
Da-da-da-da.
So I can get a vape here, a disposable vape, with 3.5 grams of THCA
What?
for $30.
For one, that's a huge cartridge.
It's one disposable, so it's a whole unit.
Oh, it's one. Okay. So it's a disposable. It's a throwaway. So, but that's a lot. And then how much does it cost you? $35. And if it's THCA, the potency usually sometimes is high 80s, low 90s.
Yeah, it's incredibly strong, and for only $30, it's a killer deal.
Wow.
I used to do that, the THCA, every time Guild Extracts would show up somewhere.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, what would you want to try? I'm like, give me that stuff. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's like pure. It was really neat. Like, I like Guild Extracts, but
Well, I know you guys were at the same hemp con I was at where they first released that stuff.
Right.
yeah.
Well, and I was just telling Chris I was on the yacht the other night. We took a tour around the bay doing dabs.
Hell yeah.
And that was all courtesy of Guild Extract. So
Nice.
So is that how you get your weed, through the mail or?
No, we have shops here that just sell it.
Oh yeah.
Vape shops, they sell like vape juice and stuff.
because actually shipping it or getting it from outside you, that's illegal.
That's
So
illegal.
we have companies here in Texas that make it.
Right, but that's what I was saying is Chris thought, oh, okay, you can get somebody to ship it to you. No, that's when it becomes illegal again.
I don't know. Oh, so it would have to be hemp derived.
It would have to be hemp derived, and if it crossed over the wrong lines, and if it was cannabis derived and it crossed over the wrong lines, it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
illegal.
that could be very bad.
What do you-
That could be very bad. That's what Tommy Chong got with the bongs.
So
Yes, yeah.
what?
Yeah, and that would be worse because bong's just a bit of glass.
It's just a glass, right?
So what do you?
It's a flower vase until
What-
you put something else in it other than flowers. My
What-
kind of flowers.
Well, I mean, I always put flowers in it anyway.
Yeah, my kind of flowers.
Yeah, you used to have like a bong collection, right? You
Yeah,
had-
yeah.
Did you bring all that with you, or
I gave away a lot
you
before
could
I left.
you could go to jail for life for having that bong collection in Texas?
Nah, no, they don't. They're probably not gonna
Hey, what
do that. For
what do you
glass
think about
anymore.
these feminists who don't think men should be able to smoke weed because it's female?
I have not heard of that before.
It's only because you're calling in on the Junkyard Rat show that you're hearing about this.
I talk about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens one day that feminists really like, no, you can't do that, you know?
Well, I can just tell them that I identify as male.
There you go.
Well-
And that's totally acceptable where we're currently sitting. Now, where I'm currently sitting is where you and I kind of got our start together in what we'll call a station that is no longer will be named.
Oh, okay.
We'll lower our heads and have a moment of silence for the past proprietor. But I'm currently looking at the wall of shame, and I'm looking to see if there's a not safe for work sticker on this big old piece of glass on my wall.
I don't think we ever had a not safe for work sticker.
You should have. So
Yeah.
that show was classic here within these walls. For how many years did you do Not Safe for Work?
Let's see. I started in 2012, and I think I stopped in like 15 or 16.
There you
Around
go.
16. Yeah.
And
So-
your co-host at one point, I remember, was Scott.
Yeah. So Scott was the original host of the show,
Right.
and I came on as a co-host, and then I took over.
Yeah, because wasn't it like Scott and Kim?
Yes.
I want to say it was him and Kim that went on to broadcast TV.
So no. Wait.
I can't remember her name, and I thought she did something local like Channel 20 at one point.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know her very well.
Oh, there you go. So and then I remember it went from like Scott and Kim to Scott and Jay to Jay.
Yeah. 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 And that's how it worked. And I always told people, yeah, I didn't come up with the name for the show, but it stuck.
And it was apropos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So tell us the most non-safe for work segment that rolls right off the top of your brain. What happened?
Let's see. Well, I didn't have as many hookers call in as some of the what's really happening.
Oh my goodness! There you go. Yeah.
I should ask them.
There's another shout out to a reincarnated show here at Studios Online.
I should bring in some hookers. Have you been to San Francisco lately, or?
It's been a while. I keep up with video and stuff. I watch things, man. I've seen. It's a shame that they shut down that whole park area near the studio at that federal building or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Well, which building? Where did?
So like on, let's see, the street behind Market Street right there. There was that. There's some federal building.
Yes, there's
right behind
there's
the
the
studio.
federal building, which is right at the corner of Stevenson and or Oddfellows Way and 7th Street. There's the Social Security
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, and like there used to be a big open park there, and I saw a video recently where it was all fenced off.
Well, they have a metal gate that goes around it. They have a little restaurant and stuff there, and there's an opening and closing. But yeah, I mean, you can walk through it, but you can't walk
Oh.
through it, stop, and start smoking fentanyl on a piece of tinfoil.
Oh, I
They'll
used to
actually
love
tell
to-
you to please keep moving along because actually, here in San Francisco, as you are fully aware of, they have what is it called? School streets or street schools or whatever they call it. So it's the safe passage from your home with your kids to their school. And so this is actually one of their routes, which is through the fentanyl epicenter, which is UN Plaza, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh. Actually, I didn't know that that was a thing, but I'm very happy to hear that it is.
Yeah, so right in front of the federal building is one route to one school, and they will have people, volunteers, which are either parents, teachers, other people in the community that have little vests that kind of like when you go on a field trip when you were a kid. You know, you buddy up with somebody and you literally had a line of kids, but there was an adult in the front and the adult in the back.
Yeah. No, it's sad that that's necessary, but it's a good thing that it's there.
It exists, right. It's sad that we're at that point, but it's a good thing that it
Well,
exists.
CNN had a show about San Francisco last night. They had a
Oh,
show, they had a show about San Francisco about the whole drug problem, about the whole homeless, the COVID. There were more people who died of drug overdoses in San Francisco than COVID during that time. It's incredible, but it's like they make it very easy for people to be on drugs here. Like they hand
yeah.
you the tinfoil, they'll give you the lighters, they'll give you crack pipes.
Well, okay, so like you just said, they'll give you needles, they'll give you crack pipes, they'll actually they have free what is it called? Free use zones. Like I won't start calling out different organizations here in San Francisco, but they have places where you can go and do fentanyl or shoot up in these safe environments. And what I mean by safe environments is they're all gated off. They have security watching. They have medical on site. So if somebody goes down, somebody's there with the Narcan, somebody's there with an ambulance, somebody's there with whatever. But you literally have to line up. The same place they're going to give you a hot meal, they're going to give you a safe place to do your drugs. So, like you were just saying, with the kids, it's sad that we have to have it, but I guess it's better that we do in some existence because some people are always just going to do drugs anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've been an advocate of safe injection rooms and that sort of thing for a long time.
Right.
Because, you know, I lived in the Tenderloin, and I understood people say, like, oh, there's poop on the sidewalks in San Francisco. And it's like, well, yeah. And the reason is because nobody can go in to use the bathroom.
Right.
Because if you let a random person use your bathroom, there's a chance they might do drugs in there and pass out.
Right.
And with the door locked.
Right.
And the reason they're doing that is because if they do that out on the street, they'll get robbed. But, you know, and so basically if you give those people a safe place, then if more people used it, you might not be able to open up bathrooms for people to use.
And that's just one small aspect of the whole thing. Like you said, just thinking of one simple thing like that, there's not many public bathrooms, and even our public bathrooms that are on the street, they were just recommissioning one here for the new BART stop at 9th and Market, and they were talking it was going to cost them $2.5 million for a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
For
program.
a bathroom, 2.5, and then they're going to have to put a urban alchemy person outside that door, and it's going to have to be like every other one that's on Market Street or off Market Street, where it's being watched. You get to use the bathroom. They say you can't use it for more than 20 minutes. Are you kidding me? So you could be in it lets you in automatically. The door opens with a push of a button. You go in. You can use the bathroom for 20 minutes. And I've talked to these guys. You can't believe the stuff I've seen when that door swings back open in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I bet you that job probably takes a toll.
Oh, I bet you you get years older within a week shift.
When I was using a bar bathroom one time and I forgot to lock the door and I was peeing in the sink and some old lady opened it and just like started staring at me. I'm here peeing in the sink. But yeah, they got stickers that say you can only use them for 10 minutes at a time. But I was in the MacArthur bar bathroom last week. Somebody actually took a shit on the floor, and there was a toilet right there. I don't know what made somebody think I'm just gonna take a dump on the floor.
So my guess is that person was a furry who identifies as a cat, and it wasn't the litter box, so they went on the floor.
That's what I like about you, Jay. Always assuming the optimistic view of it.
But the show in San Francisco was talking about how it costs like 70 grand a person just to have like a tent area for them during COVID. They were paying $70,000 per person, so they can. I can't you just get them an apartment for 70 grand? That sounds like you can get a motel room or something, you know?
Yeah, you can get a whole like a motel room that's cleaned nightly for that.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're doing. How can we keep up with everything Jay does? And what is Jay doing?
So you can. I'm actually so the best way to find me is libertylinks.io/J. That's all my links to all my stuff. I keep getting banned from Facebook and Twitter, so that's why all my stuff is in one spot.
Oh, there you go.
But right now I'm in Midland, Texas. I produce a monthly comedy show at Eccentric Brewing. It's called Eccentric Comedy, last Saturday of the month, and it's my favorite format I learned out in SF is open mic, followed by a local showcase of a headliner and a feature, and it's been going really well. We've been doing it for over a year.
Isn't it crazy that you get banned from Facebook and not Instagram? Like
that is crazy. Well, the main thing is Instagram makes it hard to actually have political discussions with people. So I got in trouble. Paul was witness to this.
Not at all.
But,
I'm sorry, you can't subpoena me into court on this one. Go ahead.
But I would get into political discussions with people that basically didn't want to. They just wanted to have their opinion out and didn't want to defend it at all.
Right.
And that doesn't happen as much on Instagram because people are just posting pictures of their dog.
Right.
they went after weed a lot. I know a lot of vendors who go to sessions. Some of them are on their 7th different Instagram page because they keep shutting them down.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's how I found out that Delta 8 actually works. Because I saw Joey Diaz post on Instagram that he was smoking Delta 8 and he had some vape that was actually good. And I said, well, if Joey Diaz likes it, then I need to try it.
Now, the whole vape thing scares me because I don't like the kind of chemicals they put in the concentrate.
Well, there's basically I'd rather do that than go to jail. So that's my.
Well, yeah.
Plus I know what THCA is. So once that became available, I'm pretty much set on that.
That sounds kind of cheap. You need to buy a bunch of it and send it over. Because that stuff is really expensive here. So
you're right, it is, and it's legal for me to send it to California.
Yeah. It is crazy. The people don't realize that the reason that hemp is legal in the first place. Trump legalized hemp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Farm Bill. Trump signed it.
Yeah. For the whole
so
country.
I wouldn't be getting high right now if it weren't for Trump. There's one thing I can think of for.
Yeah. But it's like in California, they went after menthol cigarettes.
Yep.
And next year they're gonna go after concentrates. They don't want any flavored concentrates that are legal.
Oh.
In
okay.
In 2024 they're gonna make that illegal. But you can still buy menthol cigarettes. It's stupid, they still sell it. The same places. You just gotta ask for it nicer, wink, 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 wink.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But I
they
did
made
hear
menthol cigarettes. They made all flavored tobacco illegal, you know, and they went after they're going after concentrates. That's what they do because Gavin Newsom is in the liquor business, you know. He has no
Oh,
idea about marijuana. You know,
okay.
you can make liquor, but if you're an alcoholic, you're not gonna make your own alcohol. You're gonna buy it. But if you're a pothead, you can get weed anywhere. You don't need to deal with these people.
Yeah, and so I heard that California was trying to outlaw tobacco in a way that anybody who is not currently old enough to buy tobacco, when they turn 21 and say 2026,
Hmm.
they will not be allowed to buy any tobacco.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think it was 2026 was their planned date. But it's like, yeah, if you weren't old enough to buy tobacco by that time, none. You never get any ever.
It's crazy they made it 21, you know. I think
Yeah.
they make a big deal over tobacco, but I see all these sayings about tobacco. I'm like, why don't we make a big deal about fentanyl and stuff? Like, why are we not trying to do something about fentanyl and leave people the tobacco alone? Now I'm
Well, I'll
reading.
tell you, that's only a San Francisco thing, man. The rest of the country is trying to fight fentanyl.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, you know, even in that program CNN did about San Francisco, they were talking about one location. It was like a shooting area where you could go do all the drugs you want, and
Yeah.
they'll give you anything for drug use except rolling papers. It's like, why can't you get free? Why can't I get a free bong from these people? You know, you gotta buy your own weed shit. But if you want to do crack, if you want to do fentanyl, they're gonna hook you up with everything you need but the drugs.
Wow,
Even
that's messed up.
it's nuts. Somebody told me that, and it's nuts. And the reason why in this area where there's so many drug users is because there's a needle exchange nearby. You know, anywhere you got a needle exchange, you're gonna have a bunch of drug users. It would make sense to move all these people to Oakland or Treasure Island or something.
Dude, I agree. Like, that's one of the hardest things about it is, like, why does all that have to be right in the middle of the city?
It's a federal building, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're right.
it's a federal building. You think the people at the federal building would be like, I mean, they claim they brought the National Guard, but I haven't seen any military on the ground. But it's a federal building. You think that a bunch of drug addicts near a federal building, and there's like the courthouse there too. You think that they would like look after that area, but they don't. It's like open season, you know. It looks like summer camp for drug addicts. Sometimes I wish, you know, I look around thinking I must know some of these people because I did comedy for years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I bet you, I guarantee some of those people poked their head in at, what was that, the Larkin,
Oh yeah,
800
the
Larkin.
Larkin one?
Hannah Larkin, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they'd stick their head in there and yell at us while we were doing comedy.
That was
You
that was the obstacle course of stand-up comedy. I mean,
Oh, man.
I'll tell you, you know how much I prided myself as well as Travis Curry did on that venue,
Oh, it was fun.
right?
Dude, it was, but that is earning your chops, man.
It is. It absolutely is. And
Where's
so
Travis
if you
Curry?
can do stand-up comedy in the Tenderloin at 800 Larkin, you could do it anywhere.
That turns out to actually be true. I came out to Texas and started doing comedy, and I was like, wow, this stuff that was so hard to do in a place where I had to compete with crackheads yelling through the door is, you know, when people are actually paying attention, these jokes work.
Right.
So, so what brought you back to Texas? Isn't that where you're from, Texas, right?
I am from here. So there was, number one, COVID hit the city. I was working at with the Fillmore at the time, and so I couldn't work at the Fillmore anymore, and I couldn't do stand up anymore, the only way for me to work was driving Uber. And if I drove Uber, then I wouldn't get my unemployment from the Fillmore anymore. But I had to because that's how to make money. And basically, there was money issues. And on top of that, when I went to my local Walgreens, I saw people just stealing stuff and walking out. And I took out my phone to record it. And they attacked me and tried to take my phone. And I had to defend myself, and I was lucky that there were no legal repercussions, and I didn't get hurt. But I felt like after dealing with multiple assaults, and I felt like something was telling me, hey, it's time to get out of here, because if the next time this happens, the results are going to be serious.
Right.
And it was just escalating and escalating, and I felt like if I didn't take that as a sign and like react to it, that things were going to get very bad for me.
Yeah,
So,
I had a
so I
friend
moved.
who was he was collecting unemployment and he was a sub teacher at the same time, and he got busted. The government went after him because you're not allowed to do both, you know.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, that ruined my thing because like I had to work Uber to pay my bills, which
Mhm.
meant that I got no more unemployment from anything. And like, yeah, so it just didn't, COVID on top of all, and the crime and all that stuff just came together to where like I had to move.
but you had
And
rent control, right? I mean, you
no,
had,
no, I did not.
oh, you didn't have rent control? Oh, well, fuck that then, you know?
Yeah. I mean, so it's not that I didn't mind paying to be there. I loved being in the city, you know?
Yeah.
But paying that much money to also be risking my life when I leave my apartment just didn't make sense.
It's crazy.
Just to
So-
go get a loaf of bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
And
so,
I mean, it happened at my local Walgreens and my local CVS.
but you're not allowed to have an abortion now in Texas. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm not in it. I'm not going to worry about having an abortion.
You're not
I mean, I
planning.
am a gender.
You're not
but
planning on having any abortions?
No.
just getting rid of this show at the end of its term.
Hey, if you want to have an abortion, you can come and stay with us. We got room. So
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.
yeah. You know, I didn't even know that.
By the way, that's a sure sign that you've hit rock bottom, by the way, J.
know.
Austin Green.
What, if you're staying with Chris
Yes, sir.
Shafakowski?
You're staying
Yes,
with
sir.
me.
You're staying with the Junkyard Rat.
The Junkyard Rat.
You have to look within inside yourself.
So how far are you from the border?
I'm actually very far from the border. I'm like 5-6 hours from
You
the
can't
border.
even see the invisible wall from where you're at?
Oh, hell no.
Isn't that where
Nah.
Bush used to live in Midland, Texas?
Yeah. Yeah, this place likes to claim it's the home of George W. Bush.
Is he still there?
Oh, no. He actually, I don't even know if he was born here. I think he, like, lived here for a few years as a
Oh
kid.
no, he was born in. He's in Connecticut. He was born.
Can we quote you on that you haven't seen any bush in Midland, Texas?
Well, I mean, ladies shave these days, so no, I haven't.
So there you go.
Bush is important and stuff.
Also, this is a desert. There's literally nothing growing here.
There you go. There's an ad
Oh,
for
that-
Miracle Grow.
So that does remind me, though. You know, I mentioned earlier, people are always complaining about, especially all over the country. They're like, "Oh, there's poop on the sidewalk in San Francisco," and you know, but if you see it, you can walk around it. You know, and if it gets on your shoe, you just wash it off. It's not that bad.
Hey,
But here in Texas, we have these little things that grow in the desert that are spiky little balls. We call them stickers. And those motherfuckers will get on your shoe and hitch a ride into your house and hide in your carpet. And so you're walking around barefoot. And then they attack. And I'm telling you, that's way worse than poop on a sidewalk.
you know, people complain about poop in the sidewalk, but there's a couple of days I just want to take a poop on the sidewalk too. Because it's hard to find a bathroom. I went to Target, they locked up the bathrooms because people were stealing. I mean, it is hard to find a fucking bathroom
Oh
in
yeah,
the city.
I've been there.
And
It's-
people
it's
judge you.
terrible.
I mean, I've been peeing outside and women drive by. They're like, there's kids walking around here. I'm like, I'm supposed to pee. I don't give a fuck about your kids. And
Yeah,
they,
it's like it's not your fault that nobody around you is allowing you to use the bathroom.
yeah, you can't use any bathroom. They locked that shit up, you know?
And that's I don't know if other big cities are like that. I assume New York's like that. But like around here in Texas, I can't imagine walking into a store and them not allowing me to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
That just makes no sense.
Out here, they do that all the some places you can't even sit down to eat. Like, there's like a Church's Chicken. They won't even let you sit down anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's places that still won't let you sit down because, you know, they're afraid of the criminal element. There's Starbucks.
Oh,
There's Starbucks in San Francisco that shut down seating areas because homeless people think they have the right to kick it there, you know?
so it started out as a COVID thing, and then they just kept it probably.
They just kept it, yeah.
Wow.
There's one Starbucks like near the Embarcadero. That every time you go there, there's always police and bicycles. They're just kicking it there, you know? And I keep telling them, I'm like, why don't you go arrest somebody and let me just kick it here? You go arrest people. There's people nearby doing fentanyl and stuff. But I'm not into like arresting drug users because
me
they're
neither.
drug users, you know. But I'm not into like open air markets either, you know. I'm not into like handing out crack pipes for free. Like
Well, I think you came up with the right idea earlier when you said like get it out of the middle of the city.
yeah.
Move it to the edge somewhere. Like, you know, the edge of insanity would be a good place.
Modesto.
Good little segue. Good little segue.
Take them to Modesto. If you can figure out how to make your way back, that's on you. We'll take you back to Modesto.
Well, I gotta go, guys.
And that's funny
I wanna-
because we're about to sign off too. Give us one more shout out. Tell us where we can keep up with everything you're doing before they cancel you too.
My name's J. Austin Graham. It's Acid Smooth on Twitter, but I'd rather you follow Acid Smooth on Gab.com. I'm always on Gab. They won't ban me. So check out Gab.com.
What is Gab.com anyway? I've never.
Gab is it's a social media site that's competing with all the other social media sites. They actually just started doing AI picture, image generation, video generation. They have a Zoom competitor. They got a video competitor. They're doing everything all the other ones are doing, but they're not censoring me while they do it.
You know,
So that's why I
Elon
support
Musk
Gab.
listens to the show. Do you want to say anything to him?
Who?
Elon Musk.
He listens
Oh,
to the show.
I know he does. Hey, Elon, let me say racetard on Twitter, please. You allow people to say conservatard. Let me say racetard. Racists are retarded. I just want to say racetard.
You
Thank
can say credit card. You can say You can't say race card.
Racetard with the T.
Oh, with a T.
I'll explain it to him after it. And, ladies and gentlemen, keep
All
it
right.
going for J. Austin Graham. Everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
being
y'all.
on.
All right, thanks, buddy. All right, you guys can keep up with everything J. Austin Graham does right there at, what was it? Gaff?
Gab? Is it gab.com?
Just rewind this podcast, figure out where that is. Chris, what do we got going on next week, dude?
Next week is a surprise.
It's always a surprise because you don't know what the hell's going on. Is that why?
I don't know. You know, I have a lot of friends, but I can't get any of them on the show. So, but we'll have a show. Somebody will be on here. Maybe we'll have Biggie Smalls because it's his birthday on the 21st. So, Biggie and I, we were born 2 weeks apart. So remember that.
Well, there you go. All right, so tune in here to Junkyard Rat every Monday from 1 to 3 p.m. PST here live in San Francisco. Tell them out of here, Chris.
See you later. Boom.